Ashes of the Soul Forged, Chapter 2, As Observed by Me, Phyellis of the Quiet Accord. Part 1. The Weight of Stolen Lives. The first time Edrin tried to sleep, Ma's memories showed him how to slit a throat properly. Not in the abstract, but in the specific. A summer night 3 years past, a sentry who'd seen too much, the precise angle required for silence. Ma's hands guiding the blade. Ma's relief when done. The rationalization that dead men spread no tales. Edrin woke, gasping, hand clutching his own throat. The warmth of another man's blood lingered, though his fingers came away clean. Ma's satisfaction at a job well done tasted bitter as spoiled wine. Sleep, he was learning, was where the boundaries between selves grew thinnest. 3 days since leaving Oakhaven. 3 days of walking, driven by the need to put distance between himself and what he'd become. Now exhaustion clawed with fingers made of dead men's dreams. The copse of birch trees where he'd finally collapsed offered little shelter beyond concealment. Autumn had already begun its slow strip of the leaves, and morning frost painted what remained in shades of silver and regret. He sat up slowly, muscles protesting the cold ground, the inadequate rest, the weight of carrying more than one life's worth of experience. Sorrow's edge lay beside him, patient as a snake. The blade never slept. Its hunger was constant, a hollow ache behind his ribs that had nothing to do with the 3 days since he'd last eaten. He'd fed it well in the forge, 3 full lives, rich with experience and memory. But appetite like this was never truly satisfied, only temporarily quieted. "Feed me," it whispered without words. The road holds many travellers, merchants, pilgrims, soldiers, each one a feast of knowledge waiting to be claimed. "No," Edrin said aloud, needing to hear his own voice. But even that was wrong, his voice carrying Voss's clipped precision when he meant to speak with his father's slower thoughtfulness. 3 days, and he was already losing track of which mannerisms belonged to whom. He stood, joints protesting, and attempted to pack his meagre possessions. The movement was wrong. His body tried to execute 3 different methods simultaneously. Ma's efficient military role, Voss's regulation-precise folding, Rawn's careless stuffing. His hands stuttered, caught between muscle memories that weren't his own. "One thing at a time," he muttered, forcing himself to move deliberately. Pack the blanket, stolen from a washing line, and didn't that shame burn even through the necessity? Secure the waterskin, nearly empty now. Check the sword. His hand was on Sorrow's edge's hilt before he realized he'd moved. The blade purred at the contact, eager as a hound scenting prey. Through the connection, he could feel life forces nearby. A fox in its den, birds stirring in the branches. And further off, perhaps a mile down the road, human warmth moving at the steady pace of morning travel. "Breakfast," the blade suggested. Edrin jerked his hand away, but the awareness remained. He could feel them now. Every living thing within a certain distance registered as potential fuel. The knowledge made his empty stomach turn, though he couldn't tell if the nausea was his or belonged to whichever dead man had first learned what soul weapons truly cost. He needed to move. Standing still meant thinking, and thinking meant remembering, and remembering meant drowning in 3 lifetimes of choices that had led to shallow graves. The road south was hardly worthy of the name. 2 cart ruts worn into hard earth, grass struggling to reclaim the centre. It connected nowhere important to nowhere in particular, which made it perfect, for someone who needed to disappear. The main trade routes would be watched. The minor roads might be overlooked. Edrin walked with the careful pace of someone relearning their own body. Each step required conscious thought to avoid falling into a soldier's march. His hand kept drifting to where a sword should hang at his hip, muscle memory demanding the familiar weight of military steel. He carried sorrow's edge across his back instead, wrapped in what remained of his father's leather apron. The disguise was imperfect. Anyone with eyes would see the weapon's shape. But it was better than advertising what he carried. The morning grew warmer as the sun climbed, burning away frost and bringing out the scents of autumn. Dying leaves, wood smoke from distant chimneys, the faint sweetness of apples rotting in abandoned orchards. It should have been pleasant, would have been, if he could have experienced it as just himself. But Ma's memory supplied unwanted context. That smoke pattern meant a village ahead, probably 24 families. The overgrown orchards suggested economic decline. Young people leaving for cities, old people unable to maintain what previous generations had built. The road's condition indicated minimal military patrol, which meant either peaceful territory or land not worth protecting. Voss's training added tactical assessment. Multiple sight lines from the surrounding hills. Good ambush territory where the road curved ahead. The morning sun would blind anyone walking east, creating vulnerability that lasted until midday. Rawn's experience contributed cynicism. Desperate villages bred desperate people. Economic decline meant empty bellies and flexible morals. The kind of place where strangers disappeared and no one asked questions. 3 viewpoints, 3 assessments, 3 different kinds of wariness. Edrin's head throbbed with the effort of processing it all. He was 15, he was 23, he was 31, he was 43. He was exhausted by the mathematics of identity.
The story continues, as all stories must. Find the next chapter at Codex 11. Subscribe, lest the Forge's call go unheard. The Forge is patient, but it does not wait forever.